It's Monday, and that means it's time for Tech in 2. Two big stories this week, one about how games make money, and one about how tech founders might start making exit plans. And you'll want to stick around because the second one is very interesting. Italy has opened not one, but two investigations into Microsoft-owned Activision Blizzard, specifically targeting Diablo Immortal and Call of Duty Mobile. Now, the concern? That the games use design tricks to keep players, including minors, playing longer and spending more money. Italian regulators say the games push don't miss out rewards, make virtual currency hard to understand, sell currency in bundles that disguise real-world cost, default parental controls that allow kids to spend freely. And while the games are marketed as free-to-play, we all know how that usually goes. In Diablo Immortal, for example, players can spend up to $200 at a time on progression-related items. What makes this interesting is that this isn't Blizzard's first rodeo. The company has faced scrutiny before over loot boxes, monetization tactics, and pay-to-progress systems, especially in mobile games. The big difference here, regulators are now framing this as a consumer protections issue, not just bad optics. And with minors involved, that puts real pressure on Microsoft and Blizzard to rethink how these systems are designed, not just disclosed. Now, speaking of companies being under pressure, let's talk about an industry that might be feeling a lot of it, Silicon Valley. You may have seen headlines about tech billionaires fleeing California, but it's not just about a 5% wealth tax. It's about how that tax would work. The proposal would tax founders based on voting control, not actual equity sold. So, if you control 30% of the voting power but only own 3% of the company, you're taxed on the 30. For tech founders with dual-class shares, think Google, Meta, SpaceX, that could mean massive tax bills on wealth they haven't actually realized yet. Supporters argue founders can defer taxes or submit alternative valuations. Critics say those valuations are subjective, risky, and could still bankrupt early-stage founders before a company even goes public. Why this matters for tech as a whole? It could push founders to leave California earlier, it discourages building long-term companies in-state, it adds uncertainty at a time when startups already face tighter funding. Even Governor Gavin Newsom is opposing the proposal, but if it makes it to the ballot and passes, it could permanently reshape where the next generation of tech companies choose to grow. And that's Tech in 2, from how games get you to spend money to why tech founders are reconsidering where they build the future. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next Monday.